So you're deep into your new React app, right? The components are looking sharp, the UI is clean, and then, bam, it hits you. Where's the data going to live? How are people going to log in? Well, that's exactly what we're tackling today. For all my fellow developers in Nigeria, we're settling the big debate. Firebase or Supabase? Which free backend is really the best for your next project?
And listen, if you're a solo dev, you know exactly what this feels like. Suddenly, you need a backend, but you don't have a backend team, you probably don't have a big budget, and the last thing you want is one of those surprise debit alerts at 2 a.m. You just need something that's actually free to get started and, well, that just works.
All right, so let's meet our two contenders. In one corner, you've got Firebase. This is the big guy, the veteran from Google, fully managed and been around the block. And in the other corner, we've got Supabase, the fast-growing open-source challenger that, let's be honest, has been getting a ton of buzz lately.
Okay, and you've got to understand this because it's the most important difference between them. It all comes down to their database philosophy. Think of it this way. Firebase uses NoSQL, which is kind of like a huge, flexible filing cabinet. You can just toss any kind of document in there, user profiles, blog posts, whatever. It's super forgiving. Supabase, though, that gives you a proper PostgreSQL database. That's more like a perfectly organized spreadsheet, with strict rows and columns. You have to plan your structure first, but man, is it powerful when you have data that's all connected.
So let's just break that down real quick. Firebase, that's Google's baby. It's proprietary, cloud-only, NoSQL, and it's been a major player for over a decade. Supabase, it's the new kid on the block. Open source, built on a real SQL database, and you could even host it yourself down the line if you wanted to. And trust me, this isn't just some techie detail. It fundamentally changes how you're going to build your app. Okay, let's be real. This is the part you've been waiting for. The free tier showdown. Just how free is free? We're about to get into the nitty-gritty, the actual numbers, and focus on what you get without ever having to touch your wallet or find your credit card. Let's start with Firebase. It throws a huge number at you. 50,000 document reads per day. Now, that sounds like a ton, and it is. But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. One single badly written query on a complex page could chew through thousands of those reads in an instant. You might not even realize it's happening, so you really have to be careful about how you're fetching your data. Now let's switch over to Supabase and look at something that's, well, it's a massive deal. You get 500,000, that's 500,000 server-side function calls every single month, for free. This means you can do stuff like send emails, process payments, run little background jobs, all without paying a dime. For a lot of apps, this isn't just nice to have. It's an absolute game changer. Okay, so let's put them side by side and see the whole picture. Storage. Firebase gives you a full gigabyte for Firestore. Supabase gives you 500 megabytes for its database. What about logging users in? Authentication. Firebase is unlimited, which is honestly incredible. Supabase gives you 50,000 monthly active users, which is still super generous. But it always comes back to this one thing, doesn't it? Those server functions. You can't get them for free on Firebase, but Supabase gives you a ton.
And that right there, that brings us to the biggest problem with Firebase's free tier. I call it the credit card wall. The second your app needs to do anything on the server, even something simple like sending a welcome email, bam, you hit a wall. You have to upgrade to their pay-as-you-go plan. And for us developers in Nigeria, you know the struggle. Getting dollar cards, dealing with international payments, it's a headache. This isn't just an inconvenience. For many people, it's a complete deal breaker.
Now, don't think Supabase gets off easy. It has its own little gotcha. It's this project pause thing. If nobody uses your free app for a whole week, Supabase just puts it to sleep to save resources. So what happens when the next person visits? They have to wait, like 20 or 30 seconds for the whole thing to wake up. Imagine sending your portfolio to a recruiter and they get hit with that. For a small project, that can be a really bad first impression.
All right, so we know the limits, we know the catches. So how do you actually choose? Let's stop talking about abstract numbers and start talking about your actual project. Let's match the right tool to the right job.
Look, you should probably pick Firebase if the heart of your app is real-time stuff. I'm talking about chat apps, live score updates, collaborative documents, anything where data needs to sync instantly. Firebase's on-snapshot listener is just magic for this. Plus, and this is huge for us here, its offline support is fantastic. If your users have spotty internet, their data still syncs when they come back online. That's a massive win.
But on the flip side, you should absolutely go with Supabase if your data is structured and everything is connected. Think about an e-commerce site, right? You've got users, products, orders, reviews, they're all related. Supabase is built for that. And of course, the big one,
If you even think you're going to need to send an email or do anything on the server, Supabase is your answer. Why? Because you can do it for free, no credit card needed.
Okay, we've looked at the tech, we've broken down the free tiers, we've talked about what to build with each one. It's time to make a decision. What's the final verdict? For a React developer in Nigeria starting a new project today, what's the move?
For most new projects, I have to recommend Supabase. It's just the ability to run server-side code without paying is too big to ignore. It completely tears down that credit card wall that Firebase puts in your way. And here's a bonus. Learning proper SQL with PostgreSQL, that is a skill that will make you more money and open doors for you no matter what you build next. It's universally valuable.
So let's just recap it one last time. Firebase is the king of real-time, it's amazing for offline apps, and has a massive, mature ecosystem, no doubt. But Supabase wins on giving you free server functions, the raw power of SQL for complex data, and the fact that it's open source. And for most of the apps we build day to day, those Supabase wins, they just matter more.
Look, at the end of the day, both of these tools are fantastic. They're powerful, and they let you get started for absolutely nothing. The most important thing now is to stop watching explainers and start building. Seriously, don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. Just pick one, dive in, get your hands dirty, and ship something. You've got the tools. The only question left is, what are you going to build?